Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Nika intensifies into a typhoon over the sea east of Aurora. Its center was last spotted some 100 kilometers east-southeast of Casiguran, Aurora. It packs maximum winds of 120 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 150 kph. Now, Nika may make landfall over Isabela or northern Aurora this morning. It will then traverse mainland Luzon and emerge over the sea west of Ilocos Sur this evening. It is expected to exit the Philippine area of responsibility by tomorrow. Signal number 4 is up over the northernmost portion of Aurora, the central and southern portions of Isabela, and the southeastern portion of Abra, as well as in the central and eastern portions of Mountain Province, eastern portion of Ifugao, western and southern portions of Kalinga. Meanwhile, signal number 3 is in effect over northern portion of Aurora, the northeastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya, northern portion of Quirino, and the rest of Isabela. The same goes for the southwestern portion of Cagayan, rest of Abra, southern portion of Apayao, the rest of Kalinga, Mountain Province, and Ifugao, as well as the northern portion of Benguet, southern portion of Ilocos Norte, and Ilocos Sur. At least 10 areas now being flashed on your screens are under signal number 2. Now, these areas, meanwhile, are now under signal number 1. One person was reported dead due to the onslaught of Typhoon Mar. Additionally, one individual was reported to be injured while one is still missing. Over 80,000 families or almost 300,000 individuals are still affected by the impact of Marce. The estimated cost of damaged infrastructure is pegged at 25 million pesos. Typhoon Marce has already left the Philippine area of responsibility. A maritime security expert insisted that our new maritime laws should be internationalized. In an interview with Storycon, Chester Cabalza explained how the Maritime Zones Act and the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act must be recognized by the international community. He said it can be used as legal instruments for international law in recognizing our territory. President Bongbong Marcos recently signed the 2 new laws to operationalize our historic arbitral award against China. Cabalza is also in favor of internationalizing our new map.
Once na-internationalize na natin and responsibility ni NAMRIA na i-map out, i-identify kung ano yung mga isla, mga bato at mga contiguous and ECS natin, i-akit na yan sa United Nations at may bagong contours na ang mapa ng Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, well-defined na ngayon kung ano yung nasa mapa natin.
Meantime, National Maritime Council spokesperson Alexander Lopez says the Maritime Zones Act and Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act would strengthen the sovereignty of the Philippines. Here's an excerpt from his interview on The Big Story.
How will these 2 laws change things on the ground?
Well, actually, for one, we had these laws passed, and it will strengthen actually our national security and also contribute to the overall welfare of the Filipinos. How? We have defined the maritime zones and the archipelagic sea lanes. And with this, we can effectively enforce relevant laws as well as related international laws. And thereby, we are protecting on a much better plane our marine and fish resources, preserve and conserve our marine environment, as well as enhance maritime safety and security. So basically, it's for us, not for anybody else, and not for any other country. It's for our purposes, for our national interest.
Very, very curious about the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act. We do know that you define here passage within um, the archipelago, but is this focused on the territorial sea and also as well as the airspace above that territorial sea? Ano po yung sakop ng Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act?
Yeah, basically the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act, it will allow us to identify particular sea lanes within our archipelagic waters where foreign vessels can still pass, but we will be able to monitor them. We will be able to detect them. And of course, with that, we can really ensure our national security. Unlike before, that they can pass anywhere, they can go anywhere, and it is our security is vulnerable. For example, no, if they will be doing anything illegal, they can do it anywhere. And with the passage of the act, we can identify where they can only pass. And mas madali yung ating pagmamonitor and pagdidetect sa kanila.
We'll be back with more stories after this break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Let's now take a quick look at today's other headlines. In the Philippine Star, Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Chua warned 7 officials of the Office of the Vice President about their possible arrest. This if they will still fail to show up in the hearing about the office's anomalous budget spending. And in business world, the weaker than expected economic growth in the third quarter may allow the Bangko Sentral to continue cutting rates. Analysts noted, though, that this outlook is clouded by the Federal Reserve's own moves under a Trump presidency. And now over at the UAAP men's basketball, the De La Salle Green Archers secured the top spot after winning against the UP Fighting Maroons 77-66. The Maroons were initially leading the game by as much as 11 points in the second quarter. However, Kevin Kiambao, Michael Phillips, and CJ Austria combined efforts trimmed the lead and eventually outscored UP in the third quarter. Kevin Kiambao led the Green Archers with 15 markers, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Before this, the National University got officially eliminated from Final Four contention. That's after they lost to the Adamson Soaring Falcons 53-41. AJ Franzman led the Falcons with a career high of 18 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Toyota Motor Philippines holds the last leg of this year's Toyota Gazoo Race Cup PH. Here's that report.
This year's Toyota Gazoo Racing Philippine Cup has reached its finale. The weekend 3 and last leg of the country's premier race took place on November 9. All the excitement happened at the Clark International Speedway in Pampanga. The racing formats included the sprint and endurance races. Both pushed drivers to their limits, tested their grit and their will to win on the track and beyond. Named overall winner for the super sporting class was Inigo Anton, Alain Alzona for sporting class, and Bong Garabes for promotional class. As for the novice class, the winner was Russell Reyes, who was a top performance awardee in the previous leg.
I'm just glad I managed to pull it off and win the championship. I will never forget it ever in my whole life because it's my first time. I am very happy and this is super amazing for me.
Aside from the races, the event also featured several activities. Andy T., Assistant Vice President of Marketing Services of Toyota Motor Philippines, shared some of the highlights of this racing season.
We have introduced an endurance race, which makes things a little bit more interesting. But in addition to that, we also have our display of GR performance cars.
He also called on racing enthusiasts to stay tuned for more exciting events.
We plan to up the ante a little bit, make it even more thrilling. 2025 will bring a load of new opportunities, so please stay tuned on our social media to find more updates.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.